Okay everyone, welcome back. We're going to continue with our work on proportion, and this time we're looking at indirect or inverse proportion. Now those words are used interchangeably, and you need to know that one is exactly the same as the other because you may get asked for it in either way. So indirect or inverse proportion occurs when one variable increases, the other decreases. So it's kind of the opposite of direct proportion. It's not both decreasing, it says one increasing, the other goes down. And here's an example of that. So if one man needs 12 hours to mow the grass, then two men will only take 6 hours to mow the grass. Three men will take, I'm sure you can see we're actually dividing the 12 by the number of men. So 12 divided by 1 is 12 hours, 12 divided by 2 is 6 hours, 12 divided by 3 is of course 4 hours, and 6 men should only take 2 hours to mow the grass. So in the same way as we did before, we can complete a table with this, and that can help us plot it. And if we have a look at it in the table format, you can see that the values of x and y will always multiply in this case to give the same answer. 1 divided by 12 is 12, 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 12 is 12, etc. So again, the rate that's changing by is still known as the constant of proportionality, which again we'll look at in a future lesson, but understand that it's the same all the time. Even though it's going down by the same amount. And the one big difference with this is the graph of two quantities that are in inverse proportion, or remember indirect proportion, is actually a curved shape. So we're not going to work with a linear graph here. It's going to be a curved shape, and you need to understand that. So let's have a look at what that looks like. Let's plot those variables in the tables that we've got. To find out that. Now it tells us the number of hours taken is going to be our y, and the number of men mowing is going to be our x, so that's how I'm going to label it. Hours taken, number of men mowing. Now we need to go up to at least 12, so that's what I'm going to do here. We still start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to go a bit past that. Of course, I could jump up in different variables, so I could go up in 2s or something, but there's no need here. We've got enough space. And I'm going to go up in 1s for the number of men mowing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now again, I'm going to go a bit past where we need, because of course that information is still going to keep going in either direction, just that we've only got variables up to 6 on our x-axis. So let's plot them. So one man mowing takes 12 hours. Two men mowing takes 6 hours. So we can already see it's not going to be linear. 3 men mowing, 4 hours. Our straight line's gone out the window already. 4 men mowing is 3 hours. And 6 men mowing is 2 hours. So there's no way we can turn that into a straight line graph. So what we've got instead is draw a smooth curve between those points. So if we think about it, it should keep going in the inwards direction, because the less men, the longer it's going to take, although it is difficult to get less than 1 man, but maybe it's someone doing it part-time or something like that. Now, that is a terrible smooth curve, but you guys should have a smooth curve that we're working with. So join it up nice and smoothly. I might have another go at that. We might have another go at the whole thing. It's a pretty terrible line. Try and draw it as smoothly as possible, going straight through the points. If you do it in one go, then that's a bit better. You've got a better chance of a smooth curve. So, not linear, curved when we're talking about inverse or indirect proportion. Okay, let's have a look at an example. So it takes 4 people 3 hours to paint a fence. How long will it take 2 people to paint the same fence? How long will it take 6 people? So we're going to use a bit of algebra here. Algebra is still part of what we're doing. It's part of our linear graph and our coordinate geometry. It's all part of the same thing, so we can use that here. But I need to define it now. I'm going to have 2 different lots of time here. So I'm going to call my first one T1 time 1, first time I'm looking for, because I'm going to do the how long will it take 2 people to paint the same fence first. So let T1 equal the time for 2 people. Now I can use the information I've got to do that. So 4 people times 3 hours is what we're told. So of course that's going to be 12, is going to be exactly the same as it's 2 people times the amount of time. And I know that because it's the same fence, so it can't take, we're not dealing with a bigger quantity, it's the same fence, but we need to know that it's going to be a different amount of people doing it. So you can see now we've written it like that. It's just turning into an algebraic equation or an algebraic in a sentence, so we can simplify and solve as we've done before. So let's lose the things we don't need. So we don't need the people and we don't need the hours. 4 times 3 in this case equals 2 times T1. Remember, algebra says no multiplying there. So of course we know 4 times 3 is 12. So that's 2 T1, and T1 is just a variable, so we can divide both sides by 2 to find out what T1 is going to be, which of course makes it 6. So for 2 people, it will take 6 hours. Now the last part says how long will it take 6 people? So we can do exactly the same process. So let's do that, except this time I want T2, which is what I'm interested in, is the time for 6 people. Logically, it's going to take less time because the more people, the less time it will take, hence why we know it's indirectly or inversely proportional. But let's work it out algebraically. So we've got 4 times 3 here is what we were told in the question. So 4 people times 3 hours is the same as 6 people times we don't know how many hours, and that's what we're working out, T times 2. Now I simplified before I rearranged, but there's actually no need to do that. You could also just leave it there and rearrange as it is. So we need to divide both sides by 6. That will tell us what T2 is. So that's going to be 12 divided by 6, which is 2. So therefore it will take 2 hours for 6 people to paint the fence. So you can see the working out I've done in each is slightly different. Both are fine, up to you what you want to do. Just make sure it's clear what you are saying and you're defining as you go and including enough information so it's clear what you are doing. Okay, that's it. Inverse proportion. So remember, as one goes up, the other goes down, and it's going down in the same rate, just like it did with direct proportion. There are some questions here for you to have a go at. There's nothing really in the textbook on this. So work through the questions in this worksheet, and your homework is going to be watch the next one, proportion, the formal approach, screencast, and take notes. And we're going to tie our last little bits of proportion together in that. Okay, see you in class.